Welcome to Happy Gaijin, everyone. I hope I'm live. Just gonna check, see what's going on um, in terms of am I live? Am I not live? We shall see. Hold on a second. Am I live? Should be live. Happy Gaijin. Just gonna, just gonna see what's going on because I'm not very sure myself what's going on. But I think that I'm live and talking to myself. It seems. Let's see. Be live. Okay, audio's working. I'm live. Let me just get everything working. And let's spend a little bit of time seeing what happens here. And maybe sharing might be a good idea to see if if I can share this with at least the Discord. Hey, hey, hey. How is everyone doing? Um, I didn't schedule this stream. I apologize. I've had a headache. Still have a little bit of a headache. I don't know how far this stream will go, but I thought it would still be nice to have a little bit of a chat with you and see how everyone's doing. So let me know. Let me know in the chat if you're here, if you're not here, if I'm talking to myself. Probably am. Um, let's see, how do I do this? Why isn't Discord working? Hey Discord. Do 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 do. All right. Yeah, it's always a little bit tricky when I don't schedule a stream, especially on Happy Gaijin. I feel that the Happy Gaijin streams should be scheduled, or else I don't really get people coming on to say hello. But hey, I'm here now, and as always, let me know in the chat where you're from, where you're watching from, and for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Nathan. I'm Ninja Monkey. I live in Gibraltar, actually, which is basically in the very south tip of Europe, but it's a British overseas territory. And is that a Snorlax Teddy? Where? Yes. Well, I have a whole like range of different like plushies. It's kind of fun, kind of fun. So yes, it is. Hey Nathan, hope you're feeling better. I've still got a bit of a headache. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna see how things go. But I'm a sucker for consistency, you see, and I know that if I didn't stream, even with a headache, even if it's for a little bit of time, I'd be regretting it and I'd be thinking about it. I don't like letting people down, to be honest. So that's where we're at. Thanks for being here. In the Rockies, cool. I didn't actually know you were at the in the Rockies. So awesome. Japan Ichiban. Thanks for being here. How's London? Are you still in London, by the way? I'm guessing you're still in London. That's my guess anyway. But yeah, let's see who pops along. Keep me company. Ask me questions. Please ask me questions. By the way, for those of you who are top tier patrons, I have literally about an hour ago or 45 minutes ago shared a early access video to the next video that should hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, be up and published on YouTube tomorrow at some point. I need to work on the thumbnail and that sort of thing, and there's a few little tweaks that I've noticed that I don't like that I need to fix. But yeah, it's a typical sort of Ninja Monkey video, I think. Nothing too special, but let's see what people think about it, I guess. When it comes to Ninja Monkey videos, there's always I'm experimenting with different things basically. So very sweet of me. Thank you. You saw Godzilla in in London? Are you kidding me? That's pretty cool. Oh, you sent me a picture. I'll check it in a bit. I'll check it in a bit. Clever Card House, how are you doing? From Ottawa, Canada, checking in and doing good. If the airplane gods smile upon me, we will be in Japan next Sunday. Saturday, sorry, Saturday. Awesome. Well, actually, I was actually thinking that I can, in theory, I can say I'll be in Japan at the end of next week. So I will be arriving not this Sunday, but the following one. If I've done my calculations right. Common commenter, good evening. How are you doing? Like I was mentioning, I've got a bit of a headache. It's a little bit better now, but I've had a bit of a headache for the past hour or hour and a half. I've taken some paracetamol. It's starting to settle. So I'll see how the stream goes. But I didn't want to not do the stream, you know. Didn't want to let people down. Even if it's a short stream, it doesn't matter. I just don't want to let anybody down. But if the headache gets any worse, I will have to stop, obviously, you know. So for anyone who's new, um, I'm Nathan. I travel to Japan quite obsessively, you could say. I make content on my main channel, which is called the Ninja Monkey, or Ninja Monkey is my main channel. And on that channel, I basically do anything that's related to Japan planning or travel, how to plan a trip to Japan, what to do whilst you're in Japan, tips, etc., etc., etc. Ibuprofen. Yeah, I go for ibuprofen as a last resort just because I sometimes it has a little bit of an effect on my tummy and you know it's not good to have a bad tummy just before going to bed. You'll be in Japan on Tuesday. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, yes. That is pretty cool. So you arrive on Tuesday and I do you leave on Tuesday or do you arrive on Tuesday? So I leave on Saturday and I arrive on Sunday morning at 9 in the morning, so that's quite exciting. And you'll be in Japan on Tuesday, which is pretty cool, earlier than me. Paracetamol to the rescue. Indeed. Paracetamol to the rescue. Indeed. Important. Woo! So yeah, I've been planning some content for whilst I'm in Japan. Um because I don't want to go to Japan blindly, you know, like as in I don't want to like to go and usually in the summer it's quite easy to wing it, you know, I've got 6 weeks and I can sort of like, you know, come up with some ideas or be inspired whilst I'm on the trip. Basically, whilst I'm on the trip, I can be inspired, you know, and that's what happens with a lot of my videos. But when I'm going to Japan for such a short trip, it's only 1 week. I need to think, you know, what can I do to maximize my time, but at the same time not be burnt out and actually enjoy my trip. So I've got myself 3 video ideas at the moment, which in theory, apart from the Halloween one, in theory, I should be able to film a lot of them, maybe even in one day. And if I sort of focus on filming in one day, then then I could spend the rest of the time quite happy, you know. So arrive on Tuesday, set off on Monday. Jealous, dude. Jealous, jealous, jealous. Have you started packing, by the way? Leave on Friday, arrive on Saturday. I leave on Saturday, arrive on Sunday. I'll be seeing you soon, right? I think. Exciting, exciting. I'll be in Japan soon, but on Sunday, I'll be flying to Seoul first. So you arrive on Sunday. Common commenter, will you be when will you be in Japan though? Wait a minute. You'll be in Japan on Sunday? Because on Monday we're doing a meetup, by the way, for those of you who are not aware. Like not this Monday, the following one, for anybody who's confused. The 28th. Double double click my face. Poke me. I didn't know. What does that work? Double clicking actually likes. I didn't know that. I also leave next Friday, arrive on Saturday. It will be my partner's first long haul flight. Awesome. Well, Kevlar Card House, I will be doing a meetup on Monday if everything goes according to plan and you know I make it to Japan, which I should. I will be doing a meetup on Monday. So yeah, that would be pretty cool if you could come. Yeah, South Korea is quite nice. I've been. I want to go back. I don't want to go on my own though. I don't want to go on my own though. I want to go back with a group of people. I've done it on my own. I didn't find it to be the most talking about South Korea. I didn't think it was the most like solo friendly place. Shall see us too soon. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Haven't packed yet. Need to unpack from London before I pack for Japan. Well, I've been thinking a lot about my plan, about my packing for this trip. Um, I mean, to be honest, I now this is a bit wild, but I now have a Japan suitcase where at the end of when I get back home from Japan, I literally put things that I'm gonna reuse for Japan back in the suitcase to help me pack in the next trip. So your face as my ass what cannot click. Oh well, Arthur, Arthur, Arthur. I won't make it to the meetup. I will be in South Korea. No problem, no problem. Enjoy South Korea. I mean, it's a great country. I do like it a lot. I've had loads of fun in South Korea, but like I mentioned, I just find Japan to be much better as a solo traveler sort of country. South Korea is on your list. After Japan, we do 9 nights in Taiwan. Really, that's pretty cool. Another place that I haven't been to, but I would love to go to. So yeah, I do have some Coke Zero here, by the way. Will that help with my headache? I don't know. We shall find out. I hope to get to your level of having a continuous Japan bag. I hope so too. I mean, to be honest, it's nothing too exciting that I have in that bag. A lot of it is like vlogging gear, tripods, maybe a battery pack that I don't usually use whilst I'm at home, and I make sure it's there. I don't forget. Little postcards. I also have like my address book with all my Patreon addresses that I have to update before I go on this trip. Um, that sort of thing, you know. So nothing too wild. What else do I have in there? I'm trying to think. What else do I have in there? Oh yeah, my air tag to track my luggage, that sort of thing. Hey Tommy Tran, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. The caffeine should help the headache. Fingers crossed. I will pack the night before in a blind panic before I never leave. Um, yeah, I mean that's one way to do it. The great thing about Japan is that when you get there, if you forget anything, you can just get it in Japan, and it will just become a souvenir. You know, like it will just become a souvenir. But what I've been doing more recently, in the last day or two actually, is I've been looking back at my trip last year because I was in Japan more or less the same time last year, at the end of October, beginning of November. And I've been looking at some of my old live streams, seeing what I was wearing back then, and potentially I'll just pack the same clothes. You know, like I'm not one of those guys that like has a wild wardrobe who updates their wardrobe very often. So I'll probably end up with the same clothes, packing the same clothes from last year. Jennifer, I am Genki. I've got a bit of a headache. I'm not gonna lie, but I am Genki. Headache is just a headache, you know. It will go. Maybe I just need to sleep. Woke up at 5:30 this morning, and I've been up since 5:30. I'm the sort of guy who, when I'm up, I have a rule. Usually, my rule is if I wake up before 6 in the morning, then I've got to try and force myself to go back to sleep. If I wake up after 6, then I get up. But in this case, I woke up at half 5 and I just couldn't get back to sleep. And about 20 to 6, I just thought, screw this, you know, what's the point of being in bed? And I got up. So, yeah. So, as I was mentioning, we do have a meetup planned for the Monday. I'll be very jet lagged, but it'll be fun, I'm sure. I'm not very sure how many people will turn up. I've been sending messages out to the people who showed, interest to see if they're interested. And by the way, Jennifer, you're one of my top tier patrons, and I've just released a early preview of my next video. So anybody who is a top tier patron will have access for the next video. The next video, which should be going out in the next 24 hours or so, or just a little bit less than 24 hours. So you can actually get a preview. It's got a few mistakes, but nothing major. Just some text mistakes that I need to fix. So, have you planned a visit to anywhere new this trip? I have not. I have not planned a visit to anywhere new. I have planned a visit to some new places in Tokyo that I want to. That's gonna tie in with some video ideas that I have, and I am potentially, and I don't know if it's gonna be this specific trip or if it's gonna be maybe the December trip, because I do have another trip coming up in December and then another one in February maybe. Um, so I want to go to Mount Takao. Now I'm not very sure if it's going to be on this trip, to be honest. Looking at the way things are going right now, I only really have 6 days, 7 days, but 6 days really, because the seventh day I leave in the evening. So, I mean, the day that I arrive, obviously, I'm not going to do anything. Then that's the 27th. The 28th, I have the meetup. The 29th, potentially, I have something free, so maybe I'll do some kind of a little day trip or whatever. The 30th, I'll be filming Halloween stuff. The 31st or the 30th or the 31st, I'll be meeting you during the day and then filming some Halloween stuff. And then basically, I only have like the first and the second. So, do I really have time for anything? I'm not very sure. I mean, I have to make a choice. Either I don't film anything for Halloween and I do something and I go away, or I film a Halloween video. It's just that Halloween is basically bang on in the middle of my trip, which makes it a little bit difficult, right? Headache, yes, sucks. Dangle, how you doing? How you doing, man? Where are you? Are you still in the U in the UK? In Japan? Yeah, look for it. Look for it. Planning to go to the mountain on my February trip. Tommy Tran. Awesome, 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 awesome. Have you been to Mount Yote? If so, would you recommend? Is there enough to do there? I don't think I've been to Mount Yote, to be honest. I would remember. Have I been to Mount Yote? Sometimes I need to go into my photos and search, and it doesn't seem like I have. And actually, my photos are still indexing for some reason since I got my phone. But Mount Yote looks very nice, actually. Wait a minute. Are you going to Mount? Why are you asking me about Mount Yote? It's in Hokkaido, right? I mean, are you gonna be going all the way up to Hokkaido? That's quite far from where you are. I'm home-ish. Meetings in Detroit. Okay, so home-ish. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Exactly now. Sorry, I lost. I haven't been, but I know what you're talking about now. I just lost my bearings because I wasn't. I out of everyone, you were the last person that I was expecting to make a reference to Hokkaido out of all places. So yeah, it is a little bit like Fuji. In fact, I've seen quite a few vloggers, not vloggers, but like content creators use footage of that mountain, thinking it's Mount Fuji, and then it's not Mount Fuji. And I'm not gonna lie, that I nearly made that mistake once. I was using some stock footage, and I was like, wait a minute, this looks a little bit off. And then I realized that it wasn't. It was that mountain in Hokkaido. That yeah, the B-roll like stock website that I use, which is Storyblocks, isn't that great at cataloging stuff. So if I search for Mount Fuji, it will give me all sorts of mountains. It's really annoying me. For example, today I was looking for some footage. Thankfully, I have my own footage, so it's not too bad. But I was looking for some complimentary footage for Dogo Onsen for the video that's going out. And every time I freaking wrote down Dogo Onsen, it just gave me dogs. And that really, really freaking pissed me off. Storyblocks is just really terrible when it comes to indexing and search. Search is horrendous. Really, really bad. I made the mistake. I had the. It's expensive. It's really expensive. It's like $300 for the year. Um, and I was supposed to cancel it, and I forgot, and it was an auto renew, and it's auto renewed. It's auto renewed itself because I wanted to do a little bit of exploring and see if I could find a better like stock footage site. To be honest, 99% of the footage that I use is my own footage now at this point because I just have so much of it. But every now and then, I just need that one little shot of a place that maybe I haven't filmed at, or a place where I don't have the perfect shot that I need to complement my content. Or sometimes I'm doing an update video and it mentions something that I just don't have footage of, and I need to use some stock footage. But oh my god, they're so bad. Girl Wander Down Under, hey, how are you doing? From Tokyo! Awesome. Yep, about 300 for a year, dude. About 300 for a year. But this is all when this is what the hidden cost of YouTube. Like it can be expensive to run a channel if you run it correctly. So, for example, I pay for all my royalties, I pay for all my music. I don't want to be at in any point in time having any issues with copyright or with royalty and that kind of thing. So that's number one. And number two, I do pay all my taxes. So a big chunk of anything that I make from YouTube goes back into the taxes, which I have to actually finish by the end of next month. So yeah, crazy. Are you using Adobe to edit your long form footage or something like Filmora? No, I actually use Final Cut Pro. I actually use Final Cut Pro to edit everything. The good thing about Final Cut Pro is that I've paid for it once. It's not on a monthly subscription. It's always up to date, and yeah, once you pay for it, you don't have to pay for any extras really, unless you want to like get extra things, like extra footage or whatever, right? Oh, it's still freaking warm here in Gibraltar. Why? I want it to be freaking cold. Ah, oop, where has the thing gone? Yeah. So, go Wander Down Under, you're in Tokyo. And what time is it in Tokyo now? It must be like 3 or 4 in the morning, right? In Tokyo. What? What are you doing up? What are you doing up so early? All of you Apple users, I do not own any Apple products, so it'd be Adobe for me to use. Yeah, ultimately, I think when it comes to video editing, just use whatever you're comfortable with. For me, I just started with Apple and I sort of kept to Apple, and yeah, so that's where I am. 4:41 a.m. Are you jet lagged? Are you jet lagged? Oh, I'm gonna miss out that comment. Japan, Japan, Ichiban. It's also nearly 80 degrees Fahrenheit here. It'll drop significantly next week though. Okay. Yeah, man, it's and on top of it, the weather's really crap right now here. It's warm, like 20, I'm gonna say I'm guessing it's like 23, 24 right now. I mean, warm, but it's been raining and it's horrible. It's just be cold when it rains, for goodness sake. Like I have a whole wardrobe that I can't wear. I'm still in shorts and t-shirt. Yeah, this time of the year here, it just sort of the weather is the same temperature day and night. So it's probably be anything ranging between 19 and 23 during the day and during the night. So it doesn't change much. I'm usually up around 5:30 to beat the train crowds. Wow, that's nice and early. I mean, what go wander down under, what sort of activities do you get up to at that time? because there are certain things that I do get up very early for, like 5:30 in the morning to beat the train crowds for certain activities. But there are certain things that are just closed and can't really do much. Yeah, I think Tokyo is going to be very similar to here in Gibraltar. Although, what I do find the difference between where I live in Gibraltar and Tokyo, from my experience, is that it's always a lot colder in Tokyo in the evening. Gibraltar doesn't really get too cold until January, February in the evening. So maybe December, January, February. That's when it starts getting colder here in the evening. But I think that Tokyo, you probably need to wrap up a little bit warmer at the end of October, November in the evening. It will get cold in the evening. And then in December it will get really cold in the evening. So you just need to be aware of that. Ah, it's so warm. Too warm. Do, 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 do. I am excited about my trip, I'm not gonna lie. I love that it's in Japan in winter because how cold it gets compared to Sydney, Australia. Yeah, I think this is something that I also like about going to Japan in the winter because we do have a winter, but it's not like it doesn't snow. It doesn't get close to cold enough for snowing where I live. Um, but it's a different sort of cold in Japan. It's like a proper cold. I'd actually compare. I think winter in Japan is comparable to winter in the UK actually. You know, generally it's sort of similar to winter in the UK. For my first trip, jet lag still was present, so I was up at 4:30 a.m. I took a taxi and go to explore Fushiminari all alone for the first 45 minutes or so. Yes. I mean that's one of the places that I totally recommend that you go nice and early. I mean 4:30 in the morning is very early for Fushiminari, but you definitely won't have the tourists. You might encounter some photographers maybe at that time because that's what you need to do to take the pictures. So my calculations are that next week there will likely not be a Happy Gaijin stream because I am streaming now. Why is it like stuck? Okay, because I'm streaming every other week on the Happy Gaijin channel, and then the following week I will be in Japan, so it's gonna be pretty darn cool. I will be streaming from Japan. So I'll make up for all those days when for next week I'm not streaming basically. I've got a few video ideas that I want to put out before I go. And I have a lot of prep to do, to be honest, before I go on that trip. A lot of YouTube prep. Kimizudera in Kyoto is great around 5 or 6 a.m. Almost no one around. Yeah, I think Kyoto is a great place to wander around in the morning and also in the evening. I've got some really cool footage in the past from the evening, Sometimes they illuminate and then around 11:30 or midnight, all of a sudden all the street lights go off and it gets really, really dark and it gets a bit weird. But you can get that sweet spot of exploring Kyoto's like Kiyomizu-dera area or whatever around before midnight, before the lights go off. Then you'll get very few people. You get some really nice like moody shots. Sometimes they illuminate the temple itself and stuff. It's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Area. I know, I know. Love looking at snow, but hate being in weather that cold. I like snow. It's pretty cool because I don't get snow here, so you're one of those early morning photo peeps. Awesome. Um, yeah, in terms of it's a bit weird for photography, I think depends what you're taking photos of. But for footage, I think there's a sweet spot for taking video because you don't want really to take and in a way boring. Why would you want to? Why my preference. Taking a picture of an empty street in Kyoto. Maybe there's enough character, maybe, but I think that having a few people in the frame, one or two people in the distance, will always add a little bit of interest to the footage, and also, you know, make it feel like the place is alive, not just like it's a drawing. I don't know what you think about that, guys. Japan Japan is definitely an early riser. I'm always surprised when I see some of his like posts like so early in the morning. It's pretty cool. So tell me, guys, what are your plans for your trip to Japan? Where are you going? I'm gonna probably wrap things up soonish because my headache isn't going, and I think it's probably not a good idea to carry on streaming for much longer. But please like for the effort, double tap on my face for the effort. Venice is beautiful in the early morning, just locals starting the day and none of the day tourists. Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's really cool to explore a place and get the local feel and see what locals are doing. Sometimes that's why I like going to like morning markets, and morning markets in Japan like are really early. Some of them 6:30 in the morning, 6 in the morning, um, and and you get the whole like local ambience, life happening. Not Japan, I know. Well, I still want some people in my photos and videos people give them life. Exactly. The best is if someone goes past on a bicycle. Yes. On a video, adds character, but they get out of the shot quickly. Or if you happen to get a train cross, oh my God, that is like the sweet spot, right? When you get like a Shinkansen in the distance or a train going in the distance, it's like it's perfect for me. But I do agree. I like the bicycle shots, like people crossing in front. That is pretty sweet for footage, for shots, for YouTube. Ah, the train is so good. Spot on, indeed. I know. But oh my God, can you imagine a train and a bike, like crossing each other, kissing each other? When I'm in Japan with friends, they are always too hungover to wake up early for anything in the morning. I know that. I know. I mean, I've got a few stories on my own of being hungover. Yeah. I went to Kobe and I was so hungover. It was the 1st of January. I celebrated New Year's in Osaka one year and I was so freaking hungover. But I actually set myself an alarm because I was like, I don't want to waste a single day in Japan. And oh boy, was it hard. Or to you, get the barriers closing on the crossroad. Yes, I agree. First trip out, and we will be in Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya over 2 weeks. Yeah, we have a major park in each place, and the rest is just wherever we want around the area. Sounds like a nice plan. I mean, I think that the parks are always fun, especially if they're spread out, like you're doing. I love the light in the early morning. For videos, I wait a little later to get some people in to make it look a little bit livelier. Exactly, exactly, exactly. Ha- I can't remember. I don't know what you're laughing at now. It was something I said. For this trip, we're doing Tokyo. Very nice. Since my partner has never been, wanted to start with Tokyo. If this was another solo trip, I probably would have done Kyushu. Kyushu's great. I mean, I went to Kyushu now in the summer. It's left me wanting more, to be honest. I want to drive more around Japan. So Japan. Will you be driving this trip? Actually, that's something I need to check to see if I have my international permit in my suitcase. Should be there. Do you feel like those hangover drinks work on you? I feel like those only work if you have them before you drink, and I keep on forgetting. It's too late usually. Usually I'm already like a little bit drunk when I go to the convenience and then think I'm gonna drink that. Usually, you know. Ah. So, Alan, when are you back to home from London? Let's see. Is the video even live? It should be live, right? Mm, those of you who are patrons, top patrons, is the video live? I don't understand. I really don't understand. I think it's live, yeah. You're taking your international driver's permit, but not planning to drive yet. Might do though. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, take it. You never know, right? I would drink one before. When I wake up every day, I just forget. It's too late usually by the time I drink it. We'll be renting a car for a few days whilst in Takayama to explore. That's a great area to rent a car, I must admit. That's a great area. I came back from this evening around 6 p.m. Shattered. I can imagine you're shattered. I can really imagine. Tomorrow I have a really long day at work also. Oh my God. So long tomorrow. Which is why I was pushing this video, getting this video ready. Um Usually I put out a video in the weekend. I'm actually very tempted to put it out tomorrow, Thursday, see how it performs, and maybe it can sort of ride the weekend wave. If I post it on Thursday, we'll see. Probably will post it tomorrow, to be honest. Hmm. Guys, if you have any questions or any topics or anything that you want to talk about, let me know. I finished watching Free Run. If anybody's watching Free Run, the answer to that question, Saika, is No. No. Um, No. No, no, no. And if they do, I lie about it. I also have to start figuring out my whole like what gear I want to take with me. What do I want to take with me? Have you heard of free domestic flights coming up for Japan next year? Uh, yeah, I would say I have heard, but I think there's lots of conditions attached. Like you need to fly from certain parts of the world. I think with JAL and Anna, they both have some kind of promotion, and you need to book your own domestic flights in addition to your international flight, and then you get reimbursed. It sounds a little bit complicated to me personally. I haven't looked into it too much because usually these things are not scams, not the word isn't scams, but usually they're just bloat bloated ads, ads that probably will benefit 2% of everybody who applies or does it. But maybe it's something that I should look into a little bit better. Um, I don't know. I was visiting my cousin in Kobe by myself once, and she had to help me get onto the bullet train because she got me so tipsy. But also, it was my second day ever in Japan, so I was very confused. Boring practical question. What app site do you best find for booking train tickets in advance? One where you can actually choose your seats, as I don't think this is possible with Klook. It is possible with Klook now. They've changed things in the past 2 months or so. You can now choose your seat on Klook, which is pretty cool, and you can also book in advance with Klook, and you can also um, get a QR code and use a QR code at the ticket gates for a lot of the routes, which is pretty cool. They've really improved a lot. I use a combination. A lot of the time now, because things have become so good, I've used Crooked a few times, but I've also used the official. I've used the Smart EX website also, and it depends. If you have a JR Pass, then I would suggest that you get the JR Pass from the official JR Pass people. I was actually going to make a little bit of an observation about the JR Pass, and that is that people's interest in the JR Pass has completely died. Not completely died, but I've noticed looking at my analytics, all my videos, whenever I mention the JR Pass, like you know, like when you look at a video on YouTube, they sort of have little waves. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like those little waves at the bottom where the search bar is, not the search bar, where the skim bar is, or where the progress bar, video progress bar, that's it. Well, there's these little waves. Those waves, they show like the places that people are more interested in watching, and the places the dips are that people are sort of like skimming ahead. And I've been looking at the analytics of my last, I would say, 2 or 3 months, more or less. And some of my updates and some of the videos, whenever I mention the JR Pass, there's a dip. People are not interested in the JR Pass anymore. People are basically fast forwarding that thing, which is quite interesting, to be honest. To be honest, very very interesting. So yeah, that's it. The most viewed visual, but it was very interesting when I was looking at my own statistics, my own videos, and I was trying to see, like if I was to make a video, I need to try make a video to keep people engaged. So what am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? And one of the things was that JR Pass people don't seem to be interested. So, but at the same time, I think that it's very important for me, to mention and to keep people updated with JR Pass things. So just because 95% of people don't find it interesting doesn't mean that 5% that it's not useful for 5% of the people. Maybe I just need to be a little bit more succinct, and I need to sort of just explain with less amount of time taken. The JA pass is still a valid thing though. It's useful if you're a traveler who can make the most of it. Yeah, of course it is, but it's only 1% or 5% of that is what I'm seeing, even not even from statistics, but from my own videos, like my own videos. I'm actually seeing these dips when I'm talking about the JR Pass, which just proves the point that people are not interested, or the majority of people have made the decision that it's not worth it. Unfortunately, it's a valid thing for very, very specific types of people, not for everyone anymore. Thanks, Nath. Yeah, JR Pass is over. I'm doing a very train heavy itinerary for 3 weeks, but the pass still doesn't cover its costs. The people who can make it worthwhile now are me, you, and Go Wander Down Under. Yeah, I mean, even then, it depends. Even then, like like I know you're gonna be traveling every single day with a JR pass, so that's the way to do it. To travel every single day with a pass. But at the same time, it's defeating the point of what the JR pass was intended for originally. You are basically using one or two bases. You're going to be staying in, I think, Kyoto or Osaka or whatever, and doing day trips from there. That's my understanding, and always coming back to Osaka. And it's a pity that that it's got to that point, that you have to return to one of these high tourism locations to stay, because it would be very very difficult, I think, to change hotels every single day. The previous JR pass was a lot cheaper, and therefore you would have been more tempted to travel and stay in different places overnight. Not to say that that's the wrong way to do it, because that is the way to do it now. The way that you're doing it is the way to do it for the 1 week pass. To be honest, you'd have to be quite crazy to like change hotels every single day to make it worth it. It would be absolutely crazy. But but unfortunately, a lot of people, it's not that sort of style of trip isn't for everyone anymore. But hey, I think the JR Pass is just a dead, it's a dead topic. People aren't interested. I'm not interested anymore. It's worth it for some people, it's worth it for not others. I just need to keep on reminding people to check the JR calculator, you know? Hey, no problem. My head is feeling a little bit better, but I'm gonna sign off very soon too also. Thanks for being here, by the way. Eric! How are you doing, Eric? By the way, Eric, we have a new early access video. I think you're one of my patrons, if I remember right. And there's an early access video on Patreon that I've just posted. So yeah, I've been forced to do this to make the pass worthwhile. Exactly, exactly. It's very sad, but hey, you know that's the way to do it now. Basically, use of JR Pass for day trips and long day trips, like extensive day trips. That's a clever way of doing it. I have a JR Pass for my upcoming trip. Plan my stops to maximize the use of the bullet trains. Awesome. Um, awesome. Getting ready to watch it with some family in Orlando. Nice. Hey, just be aware, Eric, that it is a not a draft, but kind of a draft. It's got some minor mistakes that I spotted when I was watching. It's obviously the patron ones. Whenever I put something on Patreon, it's like an early access, but it's sort of like a first, not like a final, nearly the final version. It means that basically you get access to something before everybody else, and I'll tweak it a little bit. For example, I noticed that some of the text overlaps over some other text. I don't like that, so I'm gonna fix it. Some of the audio is a little bit loud at some points. I need to fix that also. But overall, the information will stay the same. Nothing will change too much. When using Klook, is there a booking code to use that benefits the Ninja Monkey? Yeah, Steve, there is. In fact, if you do this, I'll show you. I'm typing it. If you go www.ninjasaru.com/cook, Klook. All right. So you do that, it will literally take you to a landing page, which basically means that anything that you book via that page, I'll get a little bit of a cut. And also, it's a really strong indicator to Klook to continue working with me and sponsoring me, because of the last video that I did with them has performed so poorly that I'm worried that they're never going to want to work with me again. That theme park video that I did 2 weeks ago is performing, is a dead video. It's not performing, basically. It's having like one view a day or one view an hour or something like that at the moment. So it's very disappointing, but hey. Yeah, I put together. Yeah, we do need a Klook command. It's true. Japan. Don't forget that you can always go to ninjasaru.com. I've just posted there, ninjasaru.com, and there's a landing page. You get access to the eSIM or the Pocket Wi-Fi link. You get access to the Klook link. You get access to the Patreon link, to the Discord link, to the PayPal link. Everything basically, you get all the links. It's like a landing page to all the links. But more recently, I put together that Klook link just to make it easy. So thank you so much, Stevie. It means a lot. It helps a lot. I was talking about some of the hidden costs of YouTube, like paying $300 a year just on royalty free footage for some of my videos, paying hundreds of dollars probably for royalty free audio also, that kind of thing. But if you're gonna do YouTube, you gotta do it properly. You need to make sure that you pay other creators what they deserve, right? Oh boy. Thank you. Any questions? about traveling to Japan, going to Japan, anime. I don't really watch a lot of anime, I'm not gonna lie, but I watched Frieren recently. I need to finish My Hero Academia. I watched the first episode of the new Dragon Ball. That's it. I watched the first episode of the new Dragon Ball, and I really liked it a lot. It had proper OG Dragon Ball vibes. Dragon Ball Daima. No, it's called. Is that what the name of it is? Now I'm not very sure about. I don't want to spoil the plot for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. But I'm quite a big Dragon Ball fan. When I was a kid, and the way the cliffhanger of the first episode of that Dragon Ball episode, I'm not very sure how I feel about it. Although I did like the original Dragon Ball series a lot, so hopefully maybe the roots will be back in that. Hey Erica, I tried to use the Go Taxi app but couldn't set up an account without a local phone number. Any tips? Really? Um, I was able to set it up with my phone number, my no my number from home. So, hmm. Hey, well I'll have to talk to her when I meet her. I'm hopefully gonna meet her, right? Freerun was amazing. It was a really slow start. It sort of confused me at the beginning because it felt like I was watching the last episode of the series, if that makes any sense. Um, but then I just loved the storytelling and I loved the way that there was nothing happening for a lot of the series. I felt like literally there was nothing happening. It was a lot of character development with lots of plot twists put in the middle, and then the ending was just like, wow, you know. I don't know if that makes sense, anything of what I've said, or if you even agree with of what I've said about Freerun. But I I only got into it because I'd seen I'd seen it in Japan, not seen it in Japan. I'd seen references to the character, to the main character Freerun, like in billboards or whatever, like generally in Tokyo, and I never knew who the character was. And then when I was flying to Japan, I noticed that also. And it was cool. Erica, I use my UK phone number for the Go app. It works fine for me. Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. I use my phone number, my personal phone number, and it worked for me with no problem. So I'm not very sure, Erica, about the Go Taxi app. You don't need a local phone number. You just need to choose your country and then put in your phone number. Alternatively, um, if you're in Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, one of the main cities in Japan, you can also use Uber. Uber has some taxis that you can also use. So yeah, very interesting. And they've said there's going to be a second series, so I'm quite excited about that. A lot of people recommend so many like things for me to check out, but I just don't have time. I want to watch it all. I should save it all for a flight, but then when I'm on the flight, to be honest, I always prioritize trying to sleep on the flight. I've learned now from flying so much that the best way to do it is just to try to sleep as much as you can, and then you can deal with the jet lag when you get. I would rather sleep for a flight and then deal with the jet lag when I'm in Japan, because at least I'm in Japan and I am out of a plane and I can like get some fresh air and eat and drink and whatever, and I'm a little bit more comfortable and deal with the jet lag outside of the plane than force myself to stay awake just for the sake of not having having jet lag. Yeah, exactly. JJI, you see what I mean? Yeah, just even like, yeah, just try to sleep as much as you can. It will you've got, you can get over the jet lag in 2 days. Yeah, it can be tough, it can be hard, but I think that because you're in Japan, it'll be a lot easier to sort of get on with it. Being in Sydney, I make my flights at night time, so I just sleep. Well, me, I try to get night flights, but unfortunately, this flight that I'm going on next week, ah, The flight that I'm going on next week is a day flight from Zurich. I think it's at 1 p.m. Zurich time. So it's gonna be a proper day flight, and it's gonna be very difficult to sleep during a day's flight. So let's see how that goes. On the way back, it's a night flight, which is perfect. Nathan, question. Okay, JJI, this is gonna be the last question. I'm gonna start closing things up. Go for it. What's the question? Japan, Japan, in Japan. As a teacher, what is your opinion on charging, fining parents who take children out of school for holiday to Japan? Unfortunately, I cannot answer that question. I'll answer that question. I'll answer that question in in person, but I will not answer anything that will be like a what's the word? I don't want to mix my professional work with what I'm doing here by giving any opinions about education, if that makes any sense. I don't want anybody to then have access to me saying something um that might go against what my employer thinks, if that makes any sense. So I've got to be very careful. I hope you understand. It's fine, it's fine. But yeah, when it comes to employment and having a job, I think you got to be careful what you say online, you know? Even though you're entitled obviously to have your own opinion, you always have to be careful. So I'm I'm leaving that one there. If that I hope that makes sense anyway. I've seen too many people, like say things that then they've regretted. But yeah. Anyway, on that lovely note, I am going to sign off. It's been an hour, pretty much an hour of a stream, which was not what I was expecting to do. I wasn't expecting to have a stream this long with a headache, but I am feeling a little bit better, and I look forward to working on my videos thumbnail and yeah. Anyway, guys, on that note, thanks for coming, thanks for joining, thanks for supporting me, and I'll see you on Sunday on Ninja Monkey stream. And always don't forget to check out, make sure that the notification is on. Notifications are on for Ninja Monkey and for Happy Gaijin, so that you get the latest up to date sort of information when a video goes out. Yeah. Anyway, it was fun. I am feeling a little bit better, but I think that I'm gonna leave it there just about at the 1 hour mark. So thank you so much, everyone. You get to the hotel, crawl into bed. You arrive at night. Perfect. I mean, as a Sydney person, that's what I would do also. If I was a Sydney person, I would do exactly the same thing. So thanks, everyone. Stay positive. Be happy, Gaijin. Catch you soon. And good night, good day, good evening, good afternoon.